Welcome back to the Junius Mulpi channel. Amidst the backdrop of recent market declines, increased volatility, and uncertainty, there's a lot of questions about what 2018 will look like for investors of both the financial markets and cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, all of the altcoins, you name it. We've seen extreme volatility. Recently in the financial markets, they had an upward trend for quite a long time. And more recently, we've seen major declines in volatility with the cryptocurrency world that many of you are so familiar with. And this is a chart of Bitcoin here. As you can see it starting in November, below 8,000, rising up to almost 20,000, and then declining again below 8,000 recently. Many wishing that they had sold on some of those tops and moved profits into more secure and stable, timeless asset vehicles such as precious metals. So today's discussion is going to be on an exit strategy. We're going to discuss exit strategies, mostly as it applies to cryptocurrencies. And the reason for that is this applies to me, myself, and because I need to have an exit strategy for the small amount of crypto that I do hold. When it does come to fruition, if it ever does, of course, you never want to gamble with more than you can afford to lose. And as many of you are aware, I do have a little bit in there in a couple of different small little coins. And let's pretend for a moment they come to be something greater than they are today. And I want to get out. I want to get into metals, most likely. And that's one of the plans that I have, one of the plans I'm looking at. And I know a lot of you have done so already. There are multiple avenues you can take to get to this point where you are converting cryptocurrency into precious metals. We're going to look at the one that I'm familiar with, that I researched, because they happen to be one of the places that I do the majority of my precious metals business with, and that's Apmex. So I wanted to look at all of what they have posted on their sites and the links on how to purchase and acquire precious metals, gold and silver, with Bitcoin. At this time, all they take is Bitcoin for that transaction, none of the other cryptos. But that's okay, because you can sell any of the other coins on an exchange for Bitcoin and then send it to Apmex and convert it into metals. So let's look at how that's done and talk about that particular exit strategy. I will put all of the links for these pages below in the video description. Now, they use BitPay on Apmex, and I'll read to you what they say about that. With BitPay integration, Apmex customers can now pay using Bitcoin for orders up to $250,000 and complete their order in seconds, because Bitcoin works like cash for the internet. Customers enjoy a quick process, as the only delay is in the, quote, mining required of all Bitcoin purchases. Additionally, all eligible Bitcoin orders will be processed and shipped within 1 business day of your payments clearing and processing, with the quick ship guarantee, domestic orders only. Buyers can make purchases with Bitcoin at any time from nearly anywhere. Just as with most credit cards, international orders become significantly easier as cryptocurrency like Bitcoin is accepted worldwide without conversion. Also, many customers prefer Bitcoin payment because of the anonymity offered by a blockchain purchase. Bitcoin orders are eligible for a 3% cash discount. How do you use Bitcoin to buy gold and silver? We'll start here and we'll read through portions of this page. Setting up a Bitcoin wallet. Many of you already have one. However, Apmex does have a description here on how to set up a Bitcoin wallet. And they say, as a new adopter, you can get started using Bitcoin even before you have perfected your understanding of how it works. You will become more comfortable with Bitcoin as you see it in action. After you install a Bitcoin wallet on your computer or mobile device, it will generate a Bitcoin address. This address is how you send and accept Bitcoin payment. And Bitcoin addresses are generally considered single use. You choose with whom you wish to share a given address, and you create a new one whenever you feel it's necessary. Now, it's not entirely accurate because, as many of you are aware, you can have an exchange, or you can have a wallet such as on Coinbase that you use repeatedly. The process of sending or requesting funds is similar to sending an email, and even those who are not tech savvy will find it simple and accessible, including slow Luddites like Junius Maltby, who took a decade to figure it out. Let's take a look at some of the advantages and disadvantages. Advantages: buyers can make purchases at any time from the comfort of their home and when doing almost any kind of business, just as with credit cards. Shoppers may, however, appreciate that Bitcoin makes completing international purchases significantly easier. Cryptocurrency like Bitcoin is a single international currency accepted worldwide without conversion, as we just mentioned earlier. Also, many customers prefer Bitcoin payment because of the anonymity offered by a blockchain purchase. Bitcoin transactions may also incur lower merchant fees than those made with PayPal or credit debit cards. As a result, customers may pay lower premiums over spot on their precious metal purchases, which is always one of our goals. One of the goals that I stress here routinely, getting as close to spot as possible and paying the lowest premium or lowest amount over spot that you can. It's one of your jobs if you're looking at precious metals as a hedge, as an investment. You're not going for the numismatic side of things. You really want to get the most metal for your buck that you can. Disadvantages. So there's disadvantages, as with everything. Despite the possible advantages to purchasing precious metals with Bitcoin, there are also risks associated with using virtual currency to purchase precious metals. One factor to consider is the lack of privacy. Upon completion of a purchase, the details of the transaction, as well as the address of the buyer, are publicly, permanently recorded on the Bitcoin network for anyone to see. Bitcoin thrives on anonymity through the single-use addresses they offer, but that is really the only thing obscuring your identity when conducting transactions through Bitcoin. So if you wanted to remain completely anonymous, I kind of get what they're saying here. With a crypto transaction for metals, the way you would want to do it is you would need one of those disposable addresses like from bitaddress.org, or I believe they actually show us some places on here where you can get other wallets that they support. And then you'd put the funds into it that you wish to purchase metals with, and when the transaction is over, you would just obfuscate or destroy or whatever, never use that wallet again, and then it would have no trace to you whatsoever, other than the records that, of course, Apmex would keep, I'm sure, as to who purchased metals, where they shipped them, things like that. And I think a lot of people put a little too much emphasis on their anonymity with purchasing metals when their reason is government and government confiscation and such. And I've discussed that at length on this video. Really the least of your worries. The least of your worries. We could go into that at greater detail some other time, but I tend to get excitable when that topic comes up. Another risk customers assume when paying for precious metals with Bitcoin is loss potential. Since its introduction in 2009, Bitcoin has experienced constant and drastic price fluctuations. Volatility of that severity can quickly shift the purchasing power of buyers, leading to frustration or embarrassment. Lastly, the future of Bitcoin is still uncertain. Users have no guarantee of what may happen to the US dollar value of their Bitcoin holding should the currency collapse. As a result, experts generally advise adopters not to store any more money in their wallet than they can afford to lose. Perhaps the biggest risk facing Bitcoin adopters is the lack of buyer protection. At this time, all transactions made through Bitcoin are both instant and irreversible, meaning that this method of payment is easily exploited by con artists. So while Bitcoin, for example, offers several suggestions about how to prevent hackers from accessing one's wallet, it offers no compensatory remuneration should their suggested prophylactic measures fail. In fact, the only recourse a defrauded client has is to contact the merchant directly to ask for a refund, which can be difficult, embarrassing, or even dangerous if a hacker was using one's funds to make illicit purchases. In these cases, there is nothing that either Bitcoin or the customer can do to retrieve their stolen funds. Do you accept Bitcoin? This is a question on Apmex's site, and yes, they state we do accept Bitcoin for payment. Bitcoin orders exceeding 250,000 US dollars are not accepted at this time. I wonder how many of those requests they get. Yeah, I'd like to buy $1 million worth of US gold eagles, please. I guess you could always just do multiple $250,000 payments, which I would think would be possible and acceptable. How do I pay with Bitcoin? If you wish to pay for your order with Bitcoin, simply select Bitcoin as your payment method in checkout and submit your order. You will be presented with an embedded BitPay invoice. At this time, you will have 15 minutes to submit your payment. You can scan the QR code on the page to pay via your mobile wallet or submit payment from your desktop wallet. If your Bitcoin order is underpaid, you will be contacted by Apmex customer service with the option of selecting a different payment method. If we do not hear back from you within 48 hours, your order will be canceled. Where can I find the exchange rate for Bitcoin? As we all know, there's multiple exchanges and the valuation varies greatly from site to site. The exchange rate for orders paid by Bitcoin will be provided by BitPay. Find the current exchange rate here, and they provide a link on their site. Which wallets work best for my Bitcoin payment? So pay attention here. This is going to tell us what wallet you can use and that they think work the best. The price of Bitcoin is always changing. To prevent those price changes from hurting our customers, we require transactions to be sent within 15 minutes. Most Bitcoin exchanges cannot send a payment that quickly. As a result, the payment can arrive late and need to be refunded. This will cost you time and money. Many Bitcoin wallets do not fully support payment protocol. These non-payment protocol wallets make it too easy to send the incorrect amount or send your Bitcoin to the wrong place. BitPay recommends using a Bitcoin wallet that you can trust to successfully use for Bitcoin payments. Compatible wallets can be found here, and I actually opened this link so we can take a look at the compatible wallets they recommend. Which wallets work for a BitPay payment? Which wallets are compatible? Need help paying a BitPay invoice? Don't know how to pay to a payment URL? Check out our payment guide. Now, the link for this page is actually on Apmex's site. Many Bitcoin wallets do not fully support payment protocol. These non-payment protocol wallets make it too easy to send the incorrect amount or your Bitcoin to the wrong place. For that reason, BitPay now requires all payments to be made with a payment protocol compatible wallet. Let's take a look at that list of wallets. BitPay recommends using a Bitcoin wallet that you can trust to successfully use for Bitcoin payments. Below is a list of these reliable Bitcoin wallets: BitPay Wallet, CoPay Wallet, Mycelium Wallet, Airbitz Wallet, Electrum Wallet, Bitcoin Core Wallet, and Bitcoin.com Wallet. If your wallet is not on this list, it may fail to work with BitPay. And nobody wants to fail. Do you accept other cryptocurrencies? At this time, we only accept Bitcoin. Please check back regularly, as this is subject to change. Are all payment methods available regardless of the size of my order? No. Please see the chart below for acceptable payment types and order amounts. So from 1 penny to $1,500 about, $1,499.99. You can do credit card, PayPal, personal check, e-check, or Bitcoin. For $1,500 to to $100,000, credit card, PayPal, bank wire, personal check, e-check, or Bitcoin. So it looks like if you're going to do a bank wire, you have to be above that $1,500 threshold there. And then for $100,000 to $250,000, you can do credit card, PayPal, bank wire, Bitcoin. And then $250,000 to $500,000, credit card, PayPal, or bank wire. Of those three, I would say go bank wire on if you're doing that. I mean, I would never use PayPal. I would never even use a credit card for anything even close to over $1,500 because of the 3% fees you're going to get hit with. Too many fees. The final one, $500,000 for those of you that are in the Charlie Potatoes category. The big heavy hitters that walk around with a roll of carpet under each arm, swagger, and looking like you just walked out of a 1950s barbershop. Puff-chested. Good for you, but that's going to cost you $500,000, and you'll have to do a bank wire only. Here's what's actually very palatable, and this is one of the big selling points to me in purchasing metals using Bitcoin. Is there a discount for paying with Bitcoin? Yes, Bitcoin payments qualify for a 3% cash discount. So it's just like as if you were paying with cash when using your Bitcoin. Can I change my payment method to or from Bitcoin? Changing to Bitcoin is not permitted, as this payment option is only available when your order is placed on our website. Similarly, at this time, we cannot change an existing order from Bitcoin to another payment method. How long will it take to ship my order? I think this sounds pretty much like it's routine. It doesn't make any difference. Once your payment has cleared through BitPay, we begin packaging and shipping your order. Many Bitcoin orders qualify for our Quick Ship program, providing next-day processing for domestic orders, with some exceptions based on the order contents. Once your order has shipped, you will receive an email confirmation that includes the tracking number. This information can also be found on your account page. And then how long will it take to get your order? Not that long at all. I think it doesn't make any difference if you purchased it with Bitcoin or bank wire and so on. I think the longest would probably be a personal check that you mailed to them that they have to let clear. So it looks like it's fast, it costs less, it's efficient, and the way to go. From what I understand, these bullion institutions don't really sit on or hold your Bitcoin. I mean, it's none of our business what they do with it, but I don't think they're big holders of crypto. I think they're immediately converting it into fiat because they have to. They have a business to run. They're not here to invest in crypto, and the volatility is detrimental. They could get stuck. Imagine if a bunch of people purchased metals by cashing out of their Bitcoin, and they did so at the $15,000 to $20,000 range, and Apmex sat on that Bitcoin to this point in time, and now the value is sitting at $8,000. That would not have been a wise move for them. They would have been on the losing end of that deal. So I believe in order to keep their business running, pay their employees, purchase more metals, and do what it is they do in running a major bullion distribution company, they probably just immediately convert the Bitcoin back into Federal Reserve notes and deposit them into their accounts. Bitcoin just basically serves as a medium, a unit of account, unit of exchange that that you can send to them to purchase metals, and that they can then turn around with and use to either purchase them. Maybe they buy other metals with it. Who knows? But there you go. This is good news. I know it's kind of old news. We know this has been around for a little while now. It's not like this just happened today. It's not news, breaking news or anything, but it is interesting. It's something I'm looking at, something I'm considering, part of my exit plan, exit strategy. Any of you who are in the cryptocurrency world should have plans in place so that you can move quickly, swiftly, and get out when you need to, securing profits as needed. I hope this helps some of you out. If so, smash that like button. Give me a like, a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Click notifications, the little bell down below, letting me know that you want to receive notifications when we go live or post new video content. Go ahead and hit a comment down below if it's constructive and something you think deserves discussing. And as always, thanks for being part of the Junior Small P channel. Appreciate you being here.